On this episode of DC On Screen, we are talking all about the controversial costume reveal of the new Man of Steel from James Gunn's Superman. We have a release date for Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. We've also got more freaking daddy issues coming for Peacemaker, what Zack Snyder said about the DCU, exciting news about the Superman and Lois series finale, and screenshots and a release date for Batman Caped Crusader, the animated series from Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, and JJ Abrams. And we've got a whole lot more than that, and it's all coming up after these words from Mystery Melancholy Snyder Bros pitching a bitch cause Soups took a seat. Welcome into DC On Screen, the podcast bringing you news and reviews of the DC Comics multiverse on film and television since 2015. I am your host, David C. Robertson, and this is my best pal and your co-host, Jason Goss.
Oh, hi. Yo, you met me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. I appreciate that.
I met you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Look at you all shined up like a little piece of pewter.
Yeah, I thought you just got a new puppy.
No. You're my pal.
Oh, thank you.
You're my pal.
I do love it when you scratch me behind the ears.
Well, I mean, who doesn't? Well, me, because
some
I'm
people
slightly
don't
autistic.
do it right. And yeah, you do hate. You do hate that.
I really do.
As we learned several times.
It's like, no.
It's the only time I've ever seen you punch somebody, but...
Mm-hmm. And it was my wife.
Yeah.
No.
She told me after. Never do that, Jason. It's a knee-jerk reaction.
It didn't happen. I just, like, every once in a while my wife forgets and kind of does something to my ear, and I just or she does it to bug me, and my reaction is generally to thrust my head forward, throw my shoulders up as high as I can as if to cover my ears with my shoulders, and go, ah! And,
it is odd. It got brought up recently because, like, I was telling you, we both have the same. Well, we have a very different ear reaction, but like me and you have both have the same vibe about when like some dude tries to come up and make us uncomfortable by like rubbing our shoulders, and I'll like drop my head immediately. Don't fucking threaten me with a good time. How long you got?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
Like
I'm like, I don't
big strong hands. I need you to hit the middle as much as you can. Lumbar if you're comfortable with it. Like,
Yeah, I have no issue with that. I'm like, this says no manner of sexuality involved. Look, I'm a big guy. I got a bad back, and it hurts.
Just all the time, as a matter of course.
Yeah, this is like a chronic
hurts.
pain situation. I need your giant, meaty, sausage-like fingers kneading into every crevice of my back.
Yeah. That is incidentally what happens if you take a rapidly growing 12-year-old and throw him down a hill onto pavement. Mm-hmm. In case y'all are curious about what would happen, the result of that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, very quickly, thank you to the patrons. DC On Screen, patreon.com/DC On Screen. And,
I just realized how I phrased that. I should, for posterity's sake, say that no one actually threw you down a hill.
No, it was.
Just realized how that came across.
It wasn't really. It wasn't a hill. It wasn't a hill at all. It was. I was on a bicycle speeding down one place. My sister, who I told not to go down the other place, didn't listen to me, and she ran right into me.
Nice.
And we were both kids. I was 13, freshly 13,
young and restless, or
and,
reckless. I mean,
yeah. And we both flew. Thank God she had a helmet on because like she landed on a rock.
Oh, yeah.
And that rock took a big ass chunk out of the helmet. She's fine. She's a nurse.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about that when I was like, oh yeah, they cut up on my brain one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any new listeners, if you're wondering what happened to me, well, that's part of the story. They at one point had to cut up my brain.
They have cut, Jason's brain open.
I just wish I had footage.
I
want to see what color it is. Probably reddish.
I would assume blue for you.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Thank you to the patrons. $1 a month that gets you every episode ad-free. $5 a month or more gets you that plus whatever weird shit we put up.
True. And both of those are way less than whatever advertising you might run across on our feed. Mm-hmm. That might trick you into buying some shit.
That's right. So, I don't know. Or you can go and join for free. And, I've actually been kind of surprised. The conversation over there has been a little more hopping.
Oh, cool.
Slightly more hopping.
I haven't gotten over there. Oh, that's my bad. I'll get over there.
Yeah.
And ruin it. I'm just going to hop over for just 2 hot seconds to be like, go. That'll be it. With a period. Mm-hmm. And then bounce out of the app again.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to talk about the Superman reveal. James Gunn put this picture out here of Superman in the costume, and it is a scorched costume. A dirty, scorched costume.
It is.
And he's pulling up his boot while there's some crazy shit going on in the background. Some kind of pink orb blasting a laser.
Has a, brainiac-ish feel to it, in a way.
And I'm sure...
I don't know, though. There's like 17 villains that could destroy a sun in Superman's universe.
Everyone keeps saying Solaris, so, I mean, he's not the same color as Solaris, but whatever. I don't know, maybe it is.
You like that fuchsia or something?
Yeah, I don't really like that specific shade, honestly.
I know.
But,
I mean, it could be so many, though. And actually, I've never thought about it. There's a lot of purple Superman villains, aren't there?
There's a lot of purple people eaters.
Yeah. Even Mixus Spitlick has like a purple hat, doesn't he? That really is a theme I've never thought about.
Yeah. Brainiac's purple.
Yeah. Which is funny, because how do you make purple?
I don't know.
Well, what colors do you combine,
I don't know.
Well,
Red and blue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. God, I hope I have that right. I'm almost certain I do.
Well, see, here's the thing.
I am certain.
I know.
Just let me know if I'm wrong. I'll be a jackass on record.
I've never quite understood color theory, and it's because I'm colorblind.
Yeah, you've only got like a 60% grasp of the will just if you look at it.
Well, I mean, it's 100% sometimes, but then you hit certain tones, and it's just like, you are gray, and everyone's like, that's purple. And I'm like,
looks gray to me, bro.
Looks gray.
Yeah.
All right, so my thoughts, I like the way
Cracks me up
Superman...
how good of an artist you are to be colorblind.
What?
It cracks me up just how good of an actual artist you are and to not have all of your visual field.
Well, thank you.
But now that I think about it, you do work pretty exclusively in like a blue or black Bic pen sometimes. And maybe that's part of it.
I mean, I can tell the difference between the blue and the black Bic pen.
Oh, I know. I never have actually seen you like go into the territory of like, no, I'm going to be an inker. Because like, no, I guess you wouldn't.
I mean, why wouldn't I?
You'd be more of a penciler,
I mean, I like to do pencils, but I like ink. I love ink. I like inking. It's fun.
I'm just going to start buying you gray pens and telling you they're other colors.
That won't work. It's like, it's got to be very specific shades. There's a trick to it. Like, I like primary colors because I know what the fuck they are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's red, that's blue, that's green. Yes, that's yellow. Look at that.
My soulmate is 90s printer cartridges.
Kind of. Anyway.
I did really love this picture, though, and my opinion of it.
Yeah. I'm going to say I like the way Superman is sitting and putting on the boot like he's tired. Like a farmer.
I love the mundanity of that.
He's going out to milk the cows after not getting much sleep the night before.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't like the phone booth bit, and he's just out of it, and, arms akimbo or something.
Yeah. And we all know he was raised on a farm.
Yeah.
This is a grounded feeling for Superman. And he does look like he's wearing a homemade suit. And I'm here for it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I loved the outrage about, like, there are wrinkles in the suit. He's what a fucking puny Superman, blah, blah, blah. And, like, specifically because of those comments, if you saw the series of threads of people who were basically being told, you need to go touch grass. Mm-hmm. I did show it to a couple people just, like, at my work and kind of say, like, hey, what do you think? And, like, the comments were always like, oh, he's big. Yeah, I know he's big. Because that's the actual interpretation of this you should be taking away.
Yeah, I don't understand these people who are saying he looks puny, because I mean, there's also like there are pictures of him at the gym, and he is swole as shit.
No, he is not a small guy. Although one did crack me up because when I told him the name, they were like, Corn Sweat? Oh my God.
Corn Sweat.
And then I said like, no, Corn Sweat. Oh, well, that sounds so much better. But without that I, they were completely off.
It's an E.
Is it an E? Okay. Without that extra vowel, they were just completely out the fucking door. Which is kind of funny because now I think about it, Corn Sweat for someone that was raised on a farm's character, it makes some sense.
Yeah.
But out there working up that corn sweat all day.
But so here's why I'm here for like the sort of homemade suit thing. Despite being essentially a god, Superman was raised here on Earth on a farm in Kansas. He is homespun, homemade. Mm-hmm. He's down to earth. Possibly, and ironically, the most down to earth man on the planet.
He'd have to be, or we'd all be destroyed.
And the scorch marks
We've
on the
played
costume.
the Injustice games, you know?
The scorch marks show us that he's been through some shit.
Yeah.
The job never ends. Like, he does look tired. And so I have written down issues that I've seen people have that I've seen over and over again because I've got thoughts on these.
Are we going to address these by bullet point?
I think so.
Let's do it. Knock it out.
All right. First issue I've seen people have. It's not Henry Cavill.
We know, but they both still look like they could be cast for the role, which is why it happened. Next question, you know?
Yeah. I mean, as much as I loved Henry, he is 41.
And I know he looks like a solid 28.
He does not look 28, my friend. I'm sorry. But like you saw Henry.
I hate to think that he's only like a year older than us and looks good though.
Yeah, definitely. But also I'm kind of looking at him and going, you aged a lot in between Man of Steel and BVS.
It was 11 years ago. Yeah, no, the face changes.
I mean, between 2013 and 2016.
I mean, not mine. I look pristine, but like
well, maybe not the face so much as the hairline.
Yeah,
but
true.
But also, that's not a big deal for me. I'm just like pointing out, like, if you are starting a new DC universe, you don't want aging stars who are deeply tied to controversial mythology. And by that, I mean, with Henry comes Amy Adams, who's 49, by the way. And with Amy Adams comes an expectation. Literally, every Snyder fan.
49. God, she actually does look 28. I'm not joking about this one.
Every Snyder fan knows she was pregnant at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League. If they don't do that pregnancy, that's a problem. If they don't follow through on that story, that's a problem. If they do, but it's without Zack, that's a problem.
I agree. I mean, I know some of the physiology really matters here because, like, you know, anyone listening long enough to hear like early Supergirl reviews, or late even, I always had to headcanon the fact that Melissa Benoist has like a little scar on her forehead. Mm-hmm. And I know that sounds stupid. And by the way, I say that as someone who has a giant one in the middle of his fucking forehead. But like, it just, there's nothing in the mythology, like you just said, that actually makes that make sense.
Yeah.
There's really not, like, did she bang her head in the ship on the way there? No. Like,
well, I mean, maybe it was like a birthmark from, you know, the Red Sun.
Well, that's my point, though, is we have to headcanon it. Like, once she got here, that should be something that, you know, shouldn't be possible. Yeah, it's distracting. Mm-hmm. I loved her in the role. It's not that. It just always distracted me a little bit. There's a little 1% of me that was always like, God, I just wish they had CGI that out sometimes. But
so
they were working with CW money, so.
All right, where was this rant going?
Oh, the
I suspect to the listener, it sounds like we've just accidentally spliced in a segment of our Supergirl reviews.
Oh, I did a little bit, and feel free to go back for them. I just mean that, like, the physiology not matching the mythology of the character a little bit, was something I'd thought about before, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, you know, there's too much connected to Zack, and Gunn has already said that is Zack's story. He's not going to touch Zack's story.
I mean, I don't blame him. I'd distance myself.
Yeah. So if they ever go back to those people, it needs to be Zack Snyder, and it needs to be him finishing up that story, and that's it.
I think Gunn probably agrees.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he said as much.
Well, true.
All right, next complaint. He looks too much like Henry Cavill. Literally, I've seen this over and over again. If you were just going to cast someone who looks like Henry Cavill, why did you just cast Henry Cavill?
If everyone could
looks
just
like Superman.
rewind 30 seconds to Dave's previous comments for that explanation.
He looks like Superman, as Henry Cavill did. They
Yeah.
look very similar. I see Cavill and Corn Sweat the same way I saw Reeve and Cavill.
And
Corn
Brandon
Sweat.
Routh. He looked really good in that costume as well.
Yeah. I don't want to go over all the live-action Superman. Jesus Christ, Jason.
I have a book. I have a book right here.
I know you do, sweetie. I do too.
That's just sitting here unfinished. I've been working through it.
So, I mean, yeah, he does look more like Cavill than Reeve did. For sure.
He does a little bit. Like, I'm not saying they're not a familiar, facial type or something, but, how mad would everyone be if we, just in a Weird World cast, for instance, a dark-haired Constantine? How would that work out? Mm-hmm. Keanu, can I ask your opinion about it?
Yeah.
It.
I know how that's changed because now we all want him back.
Yeah, no. I'd be in that theater fucking tomorrow, dude, without a hesitation.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't.
But
when I got a second, I would.
Maybe, like, if you have time, I'm buying your ass a ticket and a box of popcorn, and we're doing this shit.
Okay.
This is one of those, I'll be outside your house. I'll call you when I'm there kind of things.
Yeah. But for the people asking, why would they just cast somebody who looks like Henry Cavill? If I'm like, because he's Henry Cavill, but 10 years younger.
Yeah.
He can sustain a universe for a second.
Yeah. Short answer is it's called an archetype, and look it up before you complain anymore.
Mm-hmm. Next complaint. He looks grim / dark / sad, like he doesn't want to be Superman.
Never heard that one before.
I know. So many people turning their back on Gunn here after they've bitched about, like, well, I mean, I hated Snyder's grim dark take, and now we're going to get a light, and oh, damn it.
Had people bitching about, I don't want a dance number in the new Superman movie, but yeah.
What dance number?
Well, because Gunn always has like a dance number somewhere in there.
Oh.
And yeah, I don't want to just fucking Disney this universe or whatever.
That's not Disneying the universe. That is gunning
it, yeah.
So this is one picture of a tired Superman putting on his boots and heading back out to fight for humanity. I don't think that means that he's going to be grimdark or he's even going to be Snyder version of Superman. I mean, this is like one picture.
Yeah, and also like think about it this way. Every instinct you have when you looked at this photo is he's putting his boots on, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's hope in action. He's not taking them off. Like, imagine if it was the opposite and you could clearly see him just like undressing or, just taking the cape off or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we'd have a whole fucking different conversation happening. Like, no, he's literally, and like you just said, like the Midwest mentality, like putting his fucking boots on.
Yep.
That says enough to me.
Like a wearied farmer putting on his boots to go milk some cows.
Mm-hmm.
So here's another next complaint.
With the sun.
The lighting is dark like a Snyder movie. It's nighttime.
I know we're talking about these bullet points in some ways because like it's fun to discuss it, but
yeah, sure.
Yeah, we could have done any of the answers to these in 2 words like you just did.
Uh-huh. Why is Superman taking his time putting on his boots when there's a creature destroying the city? It's a photograph. It's not a screen still. This isn't part of the movie.
How pissed would you have been if it was a screen still and he was like blurred?
I know. But even so, don't you think that since Superman moves at super speeds, he might be able to sit down real quick to shove a boot on, and to the naked eye, we wouldn't be able to see him sit there and put on that boot and look kind of tired. But because he moves at supersonic speeds, he can sit down for just a second.
I think I think I've seen this before. Like some mechanism like that in some stories where Superman can he has enough time to just pause and take a breath every once in a while and just regroup mentally. I mean, if I haven't, I'd love to see that in action. But
I mean, I haven't seen. I don't remember seeing quite that, but like.
But he would, though, in theory.
You would think.
Just like, okay, I did all the costume change and saving the cat and everything in 0.3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take 1 human second to exhale or inhale, exhale.
Next complaint. The suit doesn't fit him.
Yeah.
I like the wrinkles. I think it's something I liked in the old comics, something I loved in the Darwin Cook artwork of New Frontier. So, Golden Age shit. They had little wrinkles. I like that it looks a little bit roomy, so you can move in it.
I just think how clothes work.
It also lends to the homemade look.
Yeah.
I know the people saying that are mad because it's not Snyder and it's not Cavill, but you know what? And I loved the Snyder movies. Like, eventually.
You were slow out the gate on that Man of Steel thing for a second.
I was slow out the gate on Man of Steel, but
you have come to love it.
Look, honestly, I never loved the whole Kryptonian armor bullshit. I just didn't. I'm okay with it.
I've never been completely settled on for my mythology. If I got to design it, I've never been settled on how much I would make his actual costume, or I'd prefer to say uniform in the situation, but how much that suit really, I guess, should be indestructible.
I go back and
forth.
Comic book wise, he has an aura around him that protects the suit, but it doesn't protect the cape. Now so when you see the suit ripped up, that means somebody really messed with him. Somebody hurt his
that's
magic
be
aura.
the iconic Doomsday cover is somebody powerful enough to actually punch him. I've gone back and forth. There's a part of me that wants it to have a whole mythology of its own, and there's a part of me that's like, no, it's just a suit, and I think this should be kind of disposable.
Yeah, I never got really super into the idea of he gets his suit from the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, I
didn't need that. Never did need that. I don't need this completely wrinkleless suit. And quite honestly, the Zack Snyder one, I always felt looked a little dumb. So in the Snyder suit, it's not a big deal. I dig it and everything, but I feel like one, it's there's too much detail on it. It just, as an artist, it sucks to sit there and try to draw that.
He said several times that the details there on purpose. There's symbols and all that. And
I know.
Appreciate all the back thought. And truthfully,
also, it's just so busy. Jesus Christ.
It is very busy, but it's also very subtle and a particular shade of blue that I love. So I do love that version of the suit. It made me miss the when it's black in the Justice League Snyder thing. I didn't dislike that one. I just missed that shading before.
Yeah. What kills me though is when you see his suit. First of all, for some reason, and it may have been this way in Man of Steel, I don't remember, but in the BVS suit, it looks like there are, how the motorcycle jackets have the pads that line up to meet muscle. It looks like that's what his abs are made of on that suit.
Yeah.
And then there's this weird action figure cell shading they do for the muscles. Looks great on film. Looks terrible in a production photo. And every once in a while, I kind of see it in the movie.
This is why the most famous production photo is him in the Reeve outfit.
Yeah, which
just chilling with a straight cobalt blue,
is also just. I'll talk about that in a minute.
This would be I like the wrinkles, but I've never thought about it before. But what we're talking about, I'm on the fence about whether I want the suit to be indestructible or not. But if it is destructible, maybe that's why the trunks are there. Maybe that's the one part that he made sure was invulnerable. So no matter what situation he gets into, and he's not flashing a bunch of kids.
Maybe
that's the secret origin of the red underwear. Congratulations, everyone! I've solved an 85-year-old mystery.
Mm-hmm. All right, so people complained Corn Sweat didn't work out for the role. The fuck he didn't. Take a look at the picture we included in our show art. That man is as big as Cavill ever was, and by the way, he's got 3 inches on Cavill. Cavill is 6'1", and he is 6'4".
Yeah.
Your complaints that he's not big enough are just dumb.
Yeah. Corn Sweat is reacher height.
It looks like
also,
the CW.
Check his Planet Fitness freaking logs. Man was there.
Mm-hmm. It looks like the CW. I know they mean that disparagingly, but the Superman Lois suit, that looks dope. So that's not an issue for me. I've said it before. If you dig the Cavill skin-tight glyph costume, that's great, but this needs to make sense from a money perspective production-wise.
Yeah.
Snyder and his crew should have never been allowed to spend as much money as they did.
God, I think they said they were like $1 million a piece or something. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
And, that is meant to be disparagingly, but occasionally the CW would pull off a miracle with how something looked with what they had at their disposal.
Mm-hmm.
For like the $45 an episode that they had.
Yeah, right. I think at the time we came out, we were like, okay, so we found out that an episode of Flash cost about $1 million.
Yeah.
Whereas like an episode of Daredevil cost like $4 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't sway definitely in the area of the budget making it better, but I'm just not going to discredit anyone that worked on those shows. Like, yeah, they had some real stinkers on the visual side occasionally, but man, yeah, some of those were amazing.
So next complaint, it doesn't look like the Chris Reeve costume.
Barely even.
Why would it?
I don't.
Is 2024. Homemade is awesome. Why in the hell would we do spandex though?
Tell you what, when we go back and edit this episode, do you just want to put in 20 seconds of silence and then some crickets where we just don't even address that dumbass comment?
I'll consider it.
Like, just not even worth the time.
You'll love this one. Someone posted, basically said, I figured out why I don't like this. It's an effeminate pose. It's not a good pose for a man who is supposed to be the strongest man in the universe. And he put a picture up with a woman putting on a stocking, from like the 50s or some shit. It is literally a big-ass man putting on a boot. The fuck do you want?
Hold for the 20 seconds. That comment is so dumb, it makes me want to shut down the entire fucking podcast.
That tweet got a lot of likes.
All of which, I could go through and just find everyone who liked that, unironically at least, and just get to blocking.
Yeah, you could just go down and look at every profile and see every Andrew Tate quote you ever wanted.
Yeah.
Like, all a bunch of butt-hurt little men.
This isn't even some, it's not even some, fucking toxic masculinity bullshit like that. What is wrong with you? That the only thing you've ever seen someone bend over to do is put on a stocking. The fuck were you doing? Were you raised in 1957 looking at just the back of magazine ads?
And by the way, I didn't even write that one down, but that is one I've seen. Like, why is he sitting, bro? Why is he sitting, bro? Why is he sitting? Superman can't sit?
Yeah. It's bad. That's just dumb. That's so dumb it completely usurps the toxic masculinity argument. You're dumber than anyone who's even arguing that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, you're dumber than Andrew Tate at that point. Like, that's where I am with it. Andrew Tate makes sense.
Yeah, Andrew Twat.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll bring up, the last complaint I will really want to talk about are something I've referred to as trunk tears.
Nice.
Yes, we see his crotch is red. That doesn't mean that he's wearing trunks, by the way. It means his crotch is red. Either way, I bet it won't be actual trunks. It'll probably just be a change of color. But you know what? Even if it is trunks, I'm fine with it.
Well, like I said, it's like a cup. No one told him to wear it on the inside. He is an alien after all.
Yeah. Well, strange proclivities. He did grow up here, though.
And, Kansas is a little bit rural. Might not have run into anyone who corrected him on the issue.
Just have Pa Kent be like, well, whatever you do, boy, make sure they know that your dick is red.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would, but
they wouldn't.
Maybe it's a Kansas thing.
They're Royals fans. It's blue, literally royal blue. That would be fine if the Kents were just so overcorrective about the fact that he's like an orphan and no family, and they're just trying to love him as much as possible, and it turns into he just started wearing underwear on the outside one day, and they're like, well, if that's what you want to do, I guess. And just didn't want to pull him down on that one. Mm-hmm. Before they could have the real conversation, he just took off and joined the Justice League. Like, well, now it's too late. We missed our shot.
Yeah. So I think that's all I've got to say about the costume, honestly. Like, I like it. I like it more than the like exposed shoulder thing that they've done forever on Superman. I like the collar. Not crazy about some of the lines because it's going to be hard to draw, but it doesn't look bad. It looks good. That's for my own selfish practical reasons, my laziness reasons.
Yeah, just because later you're going to like sketch it for no good reason. And be annoyed that you have to put in the extra lines. I dug it. I mean, as we've addressed several times, I'm way less adept at, looking at a visual difference like that. But I don't know. I dug it. I like the tone. I sure as hell like the color choices. I don't know. I was on board when I saw it.
I mean, I have enjoyed the people. I don't count it as a complaint. People complaining that he's just taking his time because it's just Goku and Vegeta fighting in the background.
Nice. I mean, that is one take. Is like, oh my God, there's the sun's about to die in the background, and there's Superman just like, yeah, God damn it, I'm fucking tired. All right, let's get back out there.
Yeah,
I just beat up another god like creature yesterday, but I guess we'll get back in the game.
Yeah, is it the sun dying? I thought the blast was coming from the sphere, not a blast coming from Earth and hitting the sun.
Oh,
or the moon, maybe.
It probably is. I just for a second saw it both ways, and like very much that. It like we said, it's a still.
It doesn't look like that thing has tentacles hanging from it.
Yeah, a little bit. I do like the idea that he's just bored with this now.
Yeah,
just annoyed. Like Batman didn't pick up his phone and he got the call instead. Fuck. It was supposed to be my day off.
We do know the Justice League is in this universe already kind of established thing, so he might just be mad that his, like, man, I didn't even have a chance to put this in the wash. Everyone's going to complain that it's scorched now, that Superman doesn't know how to do laundry because of the internet. And everyone's a judgmental prick. Can't read subtext.
We'll go the other way with that. What are they going to do if you start going the other way with that, where it's like, oh, his uniform's already clean. Like he always has time to do laundry. Shouldn't he be saving a kitten somewhere?
Right. By the way, I do love that there's so many Snyder fans who can't read subtext after complaining that people didn't like Snyder movies because they can't read subtext.
Yeah. There's a whole contingent of that right now. That's a little bit exhausting. It like, yeah, bear in mind, we're not trying to paint the whole thing with a broad stroke here, but like, damn, yeah, there's definitely a few people that are they're just reacting for the fuck of it. Like for the sake of reacting to some extent.
Yeah, I don't even feel like qualifying it anymore. If you're one of the Snyder fans who are like, not all Snyder fans, you're probably the problem.
Yeah.
If you're offended, you're it's probably hitting too close to home for you.
That might be a sign. I feel like you could go into like a small fake medication commercial where if you're experiencing symptoms.
I'll put it this way: I choose the bear over the Snyder fan.
I'm not going to fight you on that.
Oh, God.
If you're just doing like betting against the field versions right now, yeah, I'm not going to fight you on that one. Mm-hmm. A shiny dollar, as I like to put it.
Dirty dollar for me. So, yeah, pretty much everybody kind of thinks that this pink orb thing, if it's not the sun being blasted, that is Solaris or Solaris. That was a sentient artificial sun that was created through a temporal paradox effect. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. To go any deeper into it is just, well, it's like listening to any description of any Grant Morrison thing.
Yeah, true.
Which is exactly what this is.
Also, we should just throw Mogu at it and call it a day.
Well, that was the other sorcerer. That was Alan Moore.
Yeah, it's true. I forgot they're fighting. Why did they never get them to fight in the comic books if they're fighting in real time?
Let's see. Moving on.
There's just Neil over there saying like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good on all this."
We got Nathan Fillion talking about his approach to Guy Gardner in an interview with Collider. He says, the reality is that people have flaws. We all have quirks. We all have vulnerabilities. You could have the most wonderful family, but be like, oh my God, my dad drives me nuts. He's got this one thing. Everybody's got something, and I love to lean into those faults and flaws. This is what makes people real and what allows audiences to relate, because we all know what that is. We all have our own. We witness it in other people. Guy Gardner is 90% flawed and doesn't care. That's one of his flaws.
I like that he seems to couch it in empathy and then just be like, yeah. This guy's fucked up though.
And he says, I think there's a real freedom in playing that. So for a guy who likes to play flaws and flawed people, Guy Gardner is a gold mine. Mm-hmm. Love all of that. Everything he says there. Hey, Dave, popping in from a later date than we recorded to bring you this exciting update. Are you excited? Because I am. On Tuesday, DC Studios announced that Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, will be released on June 26th, 2026. Superman is July 11th, 2025, to give some context as to the release distance. I'm super excited about this. They're basing it heavily on the universally acclaimed book Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King and Bilquis Evely. Go read the hell out of that if you haven't. You won't be disappointed. I mean, you might, but chances are you won't. We knew that the film was chugging along pretty quickly, with them just announcing that Craig Gillespie was announced to direct just a few weeks ago, I think. But I just didn't realize it was coming along so quickly. But I'm here for it. I know Jason is, because when I sent him the release date news, he said, fuck yes. So anyway, back to past Dave and Jason. We had Gunn. He put up a picture of, what's his face? God.
I don't know. This is an
Frank,
audio format.
Frank Grillo.
I can't
Frank
tell.
Grillo. The guy that played Crossbones in the Marvel Universe.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't add it because I don't remember not adding it to the list. I just didn't write his name down. I was like, oh, I know Frank Grillo. I'll remember his name. And of course,
and then it just wasn't there on the day, you know?
What?
Yeah.
But yeah, he put up a picture of Frank Grillo, himself with Frank Grillo, and says, Christopher Smith and Rick Sr. have a little unfinished business to take care of. And as many of you may remember, Frank Grillo is playing Rick Flag Sr., and Peacemaker killed his boy, as you'll recall. So, some more daddy issues coming to Peacemaker Season 2, as I teased earlier.
I really hope he points out that he did it with a piece of toilet. Mm-hmm. My two favorite parts of that death are, one, he made sure you saw the X-ray vision of it so you couldn't be like, no, maybe it's not real. And two, like, oh my God, who wants to die with a piece of toilet porcelain?
From a guy wearing a bedpan.
Yeah.
As a helmet. No less.
Also, that shit is incredibly sharp. Quick PSA. Don't fucking pick that up. Mm-hmm. Those are tiny obsidian knives once they've shattered. Unless
you got them big ass Peacemaker gloves.
No, yeah. No, he's fine.
Then you can pick it up.
Yeah, he was good.
But yeah, we already knew Frank Grillo was playing Rick Sr. in Creature Commandos, and we already knew that he would be playing it somewhere in the DCU. We just didn't know Peacemaker. But it makes sense.
Yeah, it fits. I like it.
We got a bit of, I think I mentioned this last episode, but we got a bit of Zack Snyder on the DCU. He says, I'm a pretty open book. I really feel like, if the characters are treated with reverence and mythologically correct, then I'm down. I'm in. Let's see what happens. I'm pretty excited. I mean, we're going to get Superman pretty soon, so we'll see what that's like. And someone mentioned it to James Gunn, asked him if he saw it. Gunn said, I didn't, but I knew it already because he's texted me. He's been incredibly supportive throughout this process.
Yeah. There's not a fight there, guys.
There's just not.
There's just not.
There's just not.
There are other things in the world you can worry about.
All right, so I'm not sure where this falls because we had like a little interruption in the program for a second, but you know what? We're about to start talking about TV, And with that, I'm going to hit a break real quick. All right, we are back. Let's talk about some TV. I know normally, or recently, I've been doing TV, mixing it in with the movie news, as in, like, here are the DCU projects coming out in order, but we don't have any of the DCU stuff to talk about, really, as far as TV is concerned. And this is all, like, other universe stuff. So
Yeah, no, I blame the CW entirely for the lack of this part of our segmentarianism, I guess.
Yeah. So we got Superman and Lois wrapped production on their series finale.
And lo and behold, who shows up?
Yeah, man. We'll get to that in a second, but I do want to point out, this is the ending principal photography for this series wraps up more than 20 years of history for DC at CW. That began in 2001 with Smallville. There has not been a TV season without a DC Comics adaptation on the CW's lineup since 2001.
God, that is a stat, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's up there with Simpsons and It's Always Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive.
So, a moment for that. But
yeah, I'm taking
during
it for sure.
During the panel at the Fan Expo Philadelphia, Tom Cavanaugh said he won't be directing the finale for Superman and Lois as he's done in the past seasons, but he will be guest starring.
Todd
Helbing said,
I've never been more interested in catching up on that.
Would you like to play a role? Would you like to play a role? I'm assuming it's going to be a freaking Wells.
Yeah.
A Harry Wells.
Some version of it.
Yeah, I hope.
God, I miss that guy. I ran out of time for a lot of reasons, and around the same time that the rest of the world did. But God, I've missed Harry Wells in so many ways. That was such a fun character.
Mm-hmm. You want to hear something disgusting?
No. And yes, also absolutely.
Mark Guggenheim. And it's still funny. It's still funny
it's his
that
name. You just think,
yeah.
Okay.
Mark Guggenheim, guy behind Arrow and The Flash.
Yeah.
And the Crisis on Infinite Earth showrunner, by the way.
Mm-hmm. The person that I still think is the most impressive feat in the history of television that he pulled off.
Yeah, maybe. He revealed via his Substack newsletter, The Legal Dispatch, which is still funny to me that he's using a Substack newsletter. It
is. It's pretty niche.
I'm like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Okay. He said that the 5-part Arrowverse event almost got a theatrical release.
God. I mean, y'all know.
It gets worse.
Y'all know if you've been listening to any of the reviews for those up, we'd have been there for it.
Yeah. He says, well, we probably wouldn't have been, honestly. He says the plan was to celebrate the Arrowverse with Fathom events, with deleted scenes from the series, and other one-off goodies airing in between episodes, as well as appearances by cast members and other giveaways in some part of the country. And he did confirm, by the way,
would spread it out, but
he says some of those scenes in between episodes would have been included deleted scenes from Crisis, with all of the VFX completed, the sound mixed, and the picture color timed. But he says, you're probably wondering why this event didn't go forward. Well, the answer is that it was scheduled for April 2020. COVID ruins everything.
Yeah. You can take a few characters out of it if you want to, and a few missed emails and couldn't make it work kind of things. But God, he just accomplished, I don't know, it's a Mount Everest of what he pulled off for me. Yep.
It was crazy. So here's a little bit, someone told Gunn that they did Finn Wittrock, the guy that was going to play Guy Gardner in the Lanterns TV show. Mm-hmm. He told Gunn he did him dirty. And then also insinuated that the show would have been in the DCEU, which it wasn't. And Gunn wrote, I didn't think it was in the DCEU, but it was before my time that it was canceled. He said, Finn's a talented guy and he'll be okay. Writers, directors, actors have projects fall through every day. We've all had it happen many times. It's not being, quote, done dirty. It's a part of the job. I have been really tired of seeing people say, "Oh, he got done dirty."
No. It cracks me up, though. It's like a...
No, they are millionaires.
No, it's like a... Yeah. I mean, yeah. But like it's like a private conversation that could have been private, and instead you kind of make it public. But no, no part of what he just said is not just standard procedure. It's on the back of your SAG card, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, shit will just fall through and not work out, and you won't get the explanation. Here's your card. Thanks.
Yep.
And your insurance information is on the front, actually.
Chris Pratt. Mm-hmm. He was talking to comicbook.com about doing the Garfield movie. And he was talking about being open to coming back to Star-Lord again, or being in DC. He says, well, it probably makes more sense that I would be Star-Lord again. But anything is possible.
I mean, it said he returns at the end of the movie. So
But anything is possible, and especially with James over at DC. Maybe there's something that would be right over there. Maybe both. How about both? Let's do both. I think 100% both. Yes.
I'm up for it.
Yes. I mean, I want to see him again as Star-Lord. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see him as Booster Gold.
Oh, yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Mm.
Yeah. That would be a fantastic role for him.
Now, I know you didn't see this, but they released a trailer for season 2 of My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah. I didn't watch it just because I'm behind on season 1 and didn't want to spoil myself.
Yeah. Well, I won't spoil you. All I'll say is hell yes. Hell yes and hell yes.
It's a good endorsement.
I still haven't seen season 1. Oh. But the trailer for season 2 made me want to see season 1.
Yeah, we operate differently that way. Like, I don't want to see anything until I've seen it. But like, yeah, you're more into like, well, let me have the spoiler, and that'll make you more excited. And these are funny situations because like you'll probably historically watch that faster than I will.
Yeah, I will probably because
you'll
I watched
binge that shit tonight.
I've considered it. Like I have kind of gone on a strange little weird adventure where I've started watching Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And, not like binging it and taking up all my time, but like I'll watch like an episode every couple nights.
My daughter got into Pokemon recently, and like, I don't give a shit, but I know more than I ever thought I would.
Fair enough.
You just don't know.
Yeah. But, this looks kind of anime-ish, and I could see kind of giving Dragon Ball a rest for a minute to catch up on My Adventures with Superman, because it does look like a hell of a lot of fun. It looked like a lot of fun for this first season, but then I saw this trailer and I was like, okay.
Oh, we're doing some shit. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Did you see the images revealed on Batman Caped Crusader?
I did not.
Oh, by the way, May 25th at midnight is when My Adventures with Superman Season 2 starts. And then it'll be on HBO Max or Max the next day.
That is close.
Yeah.
So now that I have Dead Boy Detectives out of the way, I can go ahead and try to catch up on My Adventures.
Yeah, I need to get to Dead Boy. I need to finish that up.
Yeah, we'll trade. The Dead Boys is, by the way, just phenomenal, of course. But yeah, that's a. There's a lot of start dates all of a sudden over the summer.
Yeah, we're not as dead as we thought we were all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But did you see these pictures from Caped Crusader?
I did not.
Well, you can go over to the drive, and it's labeled under DCOS 722. That's the episode we are currently recording. I have all of the pictures in that document.
Beautiful. And clicking. There's a lot of stuff in here about how much you hate me.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Your birthday's not for another few months.
No, that's the weird part. There's a lot of pre-planning. For how much you're going to ruin my birthday.
That's right.
I don't know why you put this on a public document.
Yeah. Well, I'm funny like that.
But now that I get down to the pictures, they look disturbingly like BTAS.
In a way.
It's cleaner.
It is cleaner.
And wider. aspect ratio, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Prime Video announced that it will make its debut on their platform Thursday, August 1st. Like I said, this is from JJ Abrams and Matt Reeves, director of The Batman, and of course, Batman the Animated Series creator Bruce Timm. So, looking at the Batman, the picture they have of Batman here, and they give the description a cold, remorseless avenger of evil, seemingly more machine than man. Forged in the fire of tragedy, every fiber of his being is dedicated to the eradication of crime. He straight up is Golden Age Batman.
Yeah, he is. Ears and all.
He's got black gloves and not purple ones.
Yeah, ears and all, man. Those aren't gauntlets. And yeah, he's doing this old school.
This is old school. Then we have a picture of Bruce Wayne standing next to who I assume is Selina Kyle.
Have to.
The description says, to the public at large, Bruce Wayne is a shallow dilettante, apparently wasting his parents' vast fortune on frivolous pursuits and hedonistic pleasures. In fact, he's an elaborate facade, carefully constructed to divert attention from his activities as Batman. That all looks on point.
Yeah.
That looks fun. It does look a lot like BTAS, but also very, very different. Different in a way I really enjoy.
Yeah, it's yes and no on that. A lot of different choices and pulling from a lot of things that I can see even. But yeah, there's a little bit of the framing of that I can see as an homage, I guess. Like the last, like the pictures of Catwoman alone are hilarious to me because those are also like Brave and the Bold frames to me.
Oh yeah, purple suit, green cape.
Yeah,
absolutely. It says Selina Kyle is a blithe and pampered heiress whose family lost their fortune after her father was imprisoned for embezzlement.
Yeah.
Despite having the silver spoon yanked from her mouth, Selina refuses to quit living in the lap of luxury and becomes Catwoman as a fun way to maintain her lavish lifestyle. I dig it.
Yeah.
Next, we have kind of a surprising little twist. We have a very Asian Harley Quinn.
That one is
she's
odd.
I'm down with it. It's a different thing. We had a picture of her as Harleen Quinzel, smiling, no less. And then we have a separate picture of her Harley Quinn, who looks green and yellow, and just looks like very, very serious as Harley Quinn. And it says, despite a personable and bubbly demeanor, Dr. Harleen Quinzel is a brilliant psychiatrist who treats some of Gotham's elite. However, as Harley Quinn, she is a different person entirely, a creepy, quiet, calculating menace who secretly dispenses her twisted justice to the truly despicable among her elite clientele. I love that. And I read an interview where Bruce Timm was like, we've seen Harley be like the very serious psychologist who becomes Harley Quinn, who's just silly and crazy. Let's flip it entirely. Let's have her be bubbly and happy and personable and a little silly as a psychologist.
And then just like dark.
The most like phantasm like son of a bitch.
And just the fucking worst if she's mad.
And she's not connected to Joker here.
No, she's not. There's no mention whatsoever. Even in the costume, there's no like. Harley Quinn has it's based on Harley Quinn, obviously. So like, there's never been you don't have to have Joker to have her character if you don't want to. And that is a fun take though. Is like I don't think I mind a series. I feel like there is one, but I just can't put my finger on it. I wouldn't mind a series though where like people are just like a therapist, so and so, but when it gets too far and they have to pass that professional line, they're just like, yep, I'm just gonna go kill him in the middle of the night, solve this one. Show up the next morning, or I guess about 4 days later on average. Okay, well, I just got past the funeral and so and so. Oh, well, how are you doing? And like, yeah, I put a piece of toilet in that man's heart myself.
You're back to toilets and hearts.
Yeah, it was a very striking image.
It was. All right, next up we got Commissioner Gordon. Yes, he's black. It's not a big deal. Calm down.
You'll be okay. I promise. You will survive.
I don't know what happened. I don't. Like, I got on Facebook when this all dropped, and there were just so many people angry about this. Like, oh, it's woke. I'm like, why? Why is that? What? Why are you mad about this? This says he's not even the first black Commissioner Gordon.
It's because woke became a word that simple people can remember because it's 4 letters. And then it's because also they forgot the word triggered a few years ago because it's too many letters. Did I explain that simply enough to people?
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not. But I have an old joke about how, the people who are triggered or call people triggered, or they have more triggers than a Winchester factory. Mm-hmm. For a reason. Guys, calm down. Everyone just calm down.
Yep. Former beat cop. Close to retirement. I like that. That's an interesting twist.
Is it a cop beating people? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Former beat cop. He walks the beat. Mm-hmm. And he's close to retirement. And Gordon is hired to play along with the corrupt system and run out the clock till he could draw a pension. But they've sorely underestimated Jim Gordon. His unassailable character brings him into conflict with dirty cops and crooked politicians. Not to mention, he has to reckon with a deranged vigilante beating up Gotham's criminals. I dig it.
What part of that is not just the description in year 1?
Well, I don't think he's a beat cop close to retirement.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. All right. The close to retirement part. Yeah, you're not. You're right. He was more like an up-and-coming cop in, Chicago or something, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
Before he gets moved to Gotham. But that part of the storyline's the same. Like, he just is some dude who doesn't put up with the bullshit from corrupt people. What part of this would be problematic for you?
I like the notion that he just is a former beat cop and never got close to anything like this, and they just brought him in because they're like, he'll play along. And he's like, the hell I will.
Fuck all the way off. I have a plan.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we've got Clayface. Thanks to his unique facial features, screen actor Basil Carlo has been forever typecast as a B-movie heavy. Frustrated by the limitations his appearance put on both his career and his personal life, he fell hopelessly in love with his co-star, by the way. Carlo turned to an experimental serum that promised to change his face. However, not only does his serum ultimately disfigure his face, but it ruptures the last of his sanity, creating the tragic, vengeance-seeking villain Clayface. And they've got him here, and this is like straight up old school, golden age Clayface. Got the fedora.
Yeah.
Got the red little, what do you call it? A bandana over his mouth.
Yeah.
The long hair, the
probably
knife, the overcoat. He looks cool, man. He looks cool. Very scarecrowish.
Oh, very much so. There's also an old like
Clayface.
Japanese what do we call it? Like a kind of a Japanese like crypto kind of thing. Where it's like the masked lady where, like if she approaches you and asks like, am I pretty? I think I talked to you about this recently because it was on Constantine. Reminds me of that a little bit as far as the imagery goes.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
I do deeply like it, though. I love the little star on the knife. That's cute.
I mean, I think that's just like the light gleaming off of it.
Oh, I know. I just mean that it's cute to see like such a defined star on the reflection part.
Okay. I thought you might have been saying like, oh, it's so cute. Look, he bedazzled his knife with a star.
No, he didn't. That would definitely like fuck up the shanking process, I think. Or maybe make it better. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Harder to pull out, probably.
It's like, I have a light bright on my dick.
Yeah, like he shanks somebody the first time, pulls it out, and he's disappointed because, oh, God, I lost my star. I just stickered that on there.
I just bedazzled this shit. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this. I think it looks cool. Looks like it's straight out of like the 40s, and I've always really liked that aesthetic of the original Batman the Animated Series, not the sequels, because they kind of abandoned that.
A little bit. The only thing that I'm not liking so far is the ears. I've just always had a little...
The long ears?
Yeah. I've just always had a little nail on my side about the ears. I just prefer them short.
Yeah. But wouldn't it be fun if like we do like a couple of seasons like this, and then like the next season we got kind of like a New Frontier thing going on where he's got the shorter ears and the happier face. He's like, I didn't get into this to scare children or something, you know? Or we actually see like how he reacts to getting a Robin.
Yeah.
I'm here for it either way. Like, I really am. It's Batman.
That would be cool. It is, and it's 85
I will take
years
these McFarlane toys.
No, for sure. God damn. I'm like afraid for your credit rating getting these toys at this
I
rate.
have credit cards, baby.
It could get bad, is all I'm saying.
I had a credit card and I spent it on action figures, and I've never gotten another one.
I sliced that motherfucker up.
Yep. I learned my lesson long time ago.
Yeah. I enjoy it, though. I also like the fact that they're going to make this guy like an unsuccessful actor, just like normal. But I don't know. I dig the last part and pretty much everything I'm seeing about that show right now.
Mm-hmm.
That looks exciting as hell. I'm just
It was
flicking
Bruce
through the
Timm.
pictures again. That's the only part that worries me, frankly.
That was what I was worried about. I was like, when we get a first look, it's just going to be a close-up of every
It's just going to be
nipple.
porn.
It's just going to be all nipples.
Yeah.
And it's just going to see like a nipple, and it's going to say, Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Like, we didn't even make
She's
it to
painted
the
her
second.
nipple to look like a diamond.
We didn't make it to the second release on the Black Label Batman Damned because of all of that revolt. Like, Bruce, what are you doing, dude? They're going to like pull the movie out of theaters. Well, so to speak. But
I wish they wouldn't, though. Just let all of these creators do whatever the hell they want. If they wanted to make an R-rated Batman with all the nipples, and just let it happen. Just let it happen. Let's really see what these people want to do, and then we can cancel them.
I mean, true. Now, let me put it this way, though. Like, I know, we have morphs here, like Clayface, theoretically, but like, I think where they would jump the shark if you started to is if you saw like, an obese, floppy, sweaty nipple version of Penguin or something. Where you're like, well, I think we've all learned our lesson, right?
It's like, well, this is gonna be our new version of the Penguin. We call him the nipple.
It's called a day.
Because his nose is a giant nipple.
Yeah.
And when he gets angry at the Batman, he squirts milk out of his nose.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 3 of his henchmen come over and lick it up while jerking off.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And it turns out, by the way, that actual penguins can like shit for about, 20 feet. So how real do you want to be, Bruce? That's all I'm asking.
It's a bukkake kaka party.
Yeah.
A bukkake.
You know what hurts me is that I don't feel like we're bringing up anything that Bruce Timm hasn't thought about.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not.
It's an unexplored territory that sure remains so in certain ways.
Why?
Well, I just mean when he's involved sometimes.
He
I'm
started
to worry me a few years ago. That's all.
Me too. But now I've had a time to reconsider, and I feel like it's no different than us liking Frank Miller's All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder. Shit's crazy. It shouldn't be considered canon by any stretch. But you know what? I like seeing a weird take. And if the Lord has laid it on Bruce Timm's heart to make weird candy apple headed female nude Batman stories, I mean, I'll watch it because it's Batman. I might not like it.
I mean, on the one hand, I'm completely just my aesthetics.
But I'm sure there's a market
completely against like the Harley Quinn Batman, fart jokes or something. That's just not me. That's not my style. On the other hand, though, if you want to go so far with it, and like I'm not against anyone's kinks here, if he just wants to write a whole story about how Riddler's into pegging, I guess like I'm not worried about that journey. Let's do this, I guess. But he has struck me as being very distracting in certain ways recently. Dude,
have you read that old? I think it may have been a black and white, but it was an old story that he did that Bruce Timm did of Two-Face and how he became Two-Face. And he had Grace, but in that version of the story, like, Grace had an identical twin sister. And the identical twin sister, like, seduced Harvey. And, like, he straight up has him, like, she's, like, in, like, it's like see-through lingerie, and he straight up, like, slaps her off of the table or whatever, off of the desk in his office, because she's trying to destroy the relationship and stuff. Like, it's really dark and really, like, fetishistic.
Well, it does a little bit, but like we're talking about the same guy who I think was, I'm suspecting one of the people that like wrote in the like, do you want to ride your Harley line in BTAS when we were kids?
Maybe.
If I had to pick a person I suspected wrote that line, is all I'm saying.
I could see Paul Dini doing that.
I can, but typically he just goes for like a deeply emotional note most of the time.
He does.
But, just style difference. But like I said, I'm not trying to shame a kink here. But
you kink shamer.
Do what you do if everyone's involved. I'm good. But yeah, he's gone some ways that I didn't want to follow recently. I mean, like the Killing Joke, for instance, like coming back and doing those extra little kind of vignettes and that. Wasn't my favorite.
Well, the bit with Barbara and Bruce at the beginning.
Yeah.
Getting down.
Wasn't my favorite.
Pretty sure that was written by, what was that guy's name? The guy that did 100 Bullets. Brian Azzarello.
Oh, yeah. I do like his take on the Joker.
Tim signed off on it.
Typically. So, I kind of would love to have a conversation with Bruce about this. Like, hey, why do you keep making him kinky? Like, is that a thing for you, or is it just like a storyline thing that you think you're developing? I'm just very curious about it at this point.
I think you would have a similar answer that Zack Snyder does. What, you think these people aren't into this sexually?
Oh, dear
They're
God.
dressing up in skin-tight suits and fighting each other at night. Like,
oh, probably. Yeah.
You think the people who like comic books aren't into this a little bit?
Well, and on the other hand, what if it's like Bruce Timm is just getting ahead of the conversation? Like when people are hired for like a Disney project, when your IP is bought, they drag you into a back room and show you like an entire, wing of the office worth of stuff. And they just basically go like, hey, no, I know you sold us this cute character, but just so you know, this is what's going to happen. And they basically just pull out like a ream of like Dora the Explorer getting fucked by Bender or some shit. And that's the point, is just like, hey, you're going to see it. Don't freak out. People do things, and the internet exists. Stay calm.
Even before the internet existed, there were like fanzines and stuff
all
that
over
would
the
have
place.
like the 70s and shit that had like Herc and Spock having sex.
Yeah.
And everybody.
Yeah.
Just like slash fiction is not internet. It's not like a new thing.
No.
Oh, these days the fans want them to have. No, this has always been a weird thing. That's just, not even weird. It's just a thing that happens.
Some of the slash fiction sites are like so old school that they're like, I think they might be GeoCities still.
Yeah, like the reason I think it's kind of weird is just because like I don't feel like there was much of an indication there on screen for it. But all right. But this is across like, all fandoms.
Yeah.
Just why would you think those two characters? Okay, well, all right.
It is funny. Like some of them are more obvious than others, and some of them are like, well, I saw a eyebrow raised in season 2, episode 4, and I've been thinking about it ever since. Like, okay, that's probably you just like coming up with your own headcanon, and like you do you, dude. Enjoy it. But some of them are just like, yeah, we were all thinking they were probably fucking. There's a gradient here. That's all.
Oh God. Anyway, that's all I've got.
Are we gonna end it with Spock fucking Kirk?
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to. That's not where we landed, but I guess we are now.
I mean, it's the last reference, but mine was more general.
Yeah.
We could probably call that
5-star general, by the way.
Yeah.
General reference. Yeah, used to smoke big stogie cigars, but he had to put them down for his heart. Thank you so much for listening to DC on Screen. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we pretended to. I don't know what we're coming back with because we would come back with whatever the next Tomorrowverse movie is, but we might come back with Dead Boy Detectives with a review of that. What do you want to do? You want to do Dead Boy Detectives and not just like push through?
I don't think you'll have to push through. My quick review of Dead Boy, for anyone who skipped the recap where we were like, yeah, we're gone now.
Yeah, I'm halfway through, so it shouldn't be hard.
Is holy fucking shit. I love that show. So deeply solid, everything you'd hope for Neil Gaiman and all the production that could be there. Very much on board. Season 2 can't happen fast enough. I'm sorry. Was I supposed to be coy about my feelings?
No, not on this show.
Okay, cool. All right, good. I'm effusive. It was wonderful. I loved it.
I have enjoyed the shit out of what I've seen of it, which is about 3 or 4 episodes, something like that.
It makes me want to joke with you about like 3 or 4. Do you not know what happened after 3?
Yeah, man. I don't know.
But like, it's one of those shows though where like something happens after everyone. So like, I can't even actually fuck with you that way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I wind up watching it, so I'm just kind of like, something.
Yeah. I mean, like, I had 2 episodes that I think I've seen twice because I was a little bit sleepy, but I just couldn't stop watching and went back to watch because I was like, oh, God, I didn't remember everything. Let me see that again.
Yeah. I think the last one I saw was when they expelled the, spoilers, when they expelled the, the dandelion fairies from Nico.
I think that's in like 2 or 3.
Well, 2 was the Cat King shit, mostly. So
yeah, Cat King has a whole fun run. It is hilarious.
Well, we'll see. We'll get there. I'll see what I do.
It is as funny a show as you could hope for in a show that actually has all this other shit going on.
It's funny to me how much it does feel like Doom Patrol, though.
Oh, very clearly. Yeah, like, it very much in the same vein. Like, I've had, I was talking to you earlier about I've had people, like, in my life who have no idea that I do a podcast even, that just talked to me about the show and was like, oh, no, you did Sandman and that, and like, oh, Doom Patrol, buddy. That's what's next for you. Mm-hmm. Very much in that area. So many of the same concepts, like, just a lot of fun. I've loved it.
Yep. If you're not watching this shit, you're missing out. But I'll tell you what, I'll try to finish it up and have us a Dead Boy Detectives Season 1 review next episode. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Why do you sound sad?
I'm just sad that I can't watch it for the first time.
Poor bastard. All right, that's going to be it.
I'll try to really flex and watch it again, though. Just...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't promise that.
I know you can't. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Love y'all.
I only kind of like you still.
Oh, them, not you. I'm still getting to know you. We're not there yet.
I'm still only at like with them too.
Oh, okay. So them. All right. So I love them, and me and you are. Do you love me?
I'm coming around.
Okay. All right. So you're just kind of. All right. I guess we'll turn off the recording real quick. All right. So you're just terrible. I love them, and I'm cagey as fuck, and have known you for 20 years now, and don't know you yet. Okay, got you.
That's right.
Yeah, gotcha. Sorry y'all had to listen to that. We just had to sort it out.
I'm a cold bastard.
Just turn it off so they don't have to hear.
Hey, thanks for listening to DC On Screen. Our theme song is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford of Galactic Engineers. The incidental music is by Michael Shackelford and Kevin MacLeod. You can rate the show on Spotify or rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Doing that really helps push our show to new listeners, so your help would be much appreciated. You can also contact the show at DC On Screen on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. To become a patron and get ad-free episodes and exclusive content, go to patreon.com/DCOnScreen. Your reviews and feedback may end up on a future episode of DC On Screen. DC On Screen is a production of Maladjusted.tv in association with Stranded Panda. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever damn platform you use.
Are you